Alright guys, so I did not film a kind of intro to this video because I made the background yesterday in the Sunday night mixed media backgrounds. Now, the paper here did not stay streaky. It kind of melted into each other, and I'm thinking that the reason why it did not stay streaky was because I did use that foundations paper from Vicky Bouton, and I think because it's made to accept mixed media like that, it kind of all blended together. Because when I use my regular white cardstock, the streaks stay a lot more. So, lesson learned for that one. So what I did was I took the Falling Heart stencil from Scrapping Reflections and just put my favorite glitter glaze in the world through it. It is Fallen Snow from Brutus Monroe. I love the sparkles in it. I love the size of the glitter. It's just a great product. So I am taking a variety of 6x6 papers in varying shades of green, and some of them I've cut down to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 and some 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. And I'm just layering this up to basically get this monster photo mat. Now this photo is a photo of Chloe and Lana. This is at Alcatraz, but this is going to be one of those layouts that don't go into the Alcatraz album. I'm thinking it's going to go into the family album. So if you haven't heard me talk about it before, Alcatraz is going to end up having its own album just because of the sheer amount of pictures that were taken. And in our regular 2023 album, what I want to do is just have a couple of layouts, so when you're flipping through 2023, you're not going to be thinking that there wasn't an Alcatraz trip at all. So I want them to be in there. It's not going to be a bunch, it's just going to be a couple layouts. You know, a whole family shot. I think there's a shot of Christopher and I. We got Chloe and Lana. I think I have one of Alex by himself, because he wanted to have his picture taken as he was walking up this creepy kind of alleyway thing. Anyway, I had received a phone call and it knocked the video recording off, so you don't get to see me futz around. That's futz, F-U-T-Z. I feel like I have to spell that out every time I say it or figure out another word, because sometimes people think I'm saying a no bad word, and I'm really not. So now I'm just going to use some fun foam to go ahead and get these florals popped up. Now these are some big florals for a relatively small photo. But I am going to mess around with this, and I'm going to try to figure out exactly where I want everything to tuck, where I want everything to layer. I don't want to cover up too much of the photo because there's not a lot of space left to cover up since I did trim it down. Now, these die cuts right here are actually sticky backed, and the sticky is not that sticky, so I'm going to have to re-sticky it. And then because of the level of photo mat that I have going on there, I had to double up the fun foam in some places. Now you might not be able to see it on the video, but there is also a tool behind the photo mats here. Now I was looking for some sort of round enamel brad or something to kind of cover up, I'm pointing at the flower like you can see it, to kind of cover up that little thing that I just tried to cover up there, that little flower center, because I'm not feeling it. I'm going to mess around with a bunch of metal things too, because I'm not exactly sure how I want this layout to go. I'm not exactly sure of the direction I'm going in. This is not what I was thinking originally on Sunday night when I did the background. Since the background smoothed out so much, I wanted to treat this more as a solid paper and decorate the crap out of the top of it. So I might try to do something a little bit more streaky another time, and maybe do colors that are a little bit further apart on the color wheel. Not so much far apart where if I mix them they're going to make a muddy color, but maybe just a little bit farther apart. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I am picking things that I think would go with the layout, and everything that I pull out I think would definitely go with the layout. It's just not where I want it to be. I'm thinking I need to bring in these metallic pieces to bring in another kind of texture and another kind of finish to the layout, because we've got the mixed media backgrounds, we've got the glitter glaze, I've got these different layers on the photo mats, we got these florals that are going up, but there's still a lot of paper, right? And I want to just break that up a little bit. So ultimately I do end up using those metal pieces, and then I also go into my stash and find a die. Now this is not the die I was looking for. I know I have a skinnier one, but honestly I didn't feel like digging through the dies because the dies are just kind of chilling out over there since the move. They're in their place, right? Like they're in their place where they're going to live, but the individual compartment where they are has not been organized since the move, because, you know, things shift, things dump out, things fall out, but they're over there. So my laziness got me to use these guys. Now I am using this silver paper. I don't remember where I got it, you guys. I have no idea. I do take 2 flares because I figure that will go ahead and add another kind of texture in there. I'm going to tuck them under the florally bits. The flares do not match, but the colors are similar enough to the colors that I have going on in the layout that I think it works. After I did those full silver leaves, I figured I needed some more little partial guys. So I went ahead and die cut them out. I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere them down. And then I'm also using my Nuvo to adhere down the metal pieces. And the reason why I'm using the Nuvo instead of my hot glue is because I'm not fully committed yet to where I want the metal pieces to go. Once the Nuvo dries, if it doesn't seem to be holding up, I can always hot glue those bad boys down there and not have any kind of worries about it. But I am going to add little bits of silver. So the way that I am embellishing this, obviously there is a kind of a catty corner diagonal line of embellishment. And it's not from like edge to edge. It's kind of in that upper right hand corner. I have a lot of empty space, a lot of open space down here in that left hand bottom corner, and I feel like you kind of need all that space since there's so many big I mean the embellishments are the same size if not bigger than my photo and photo mat right now, right? So I feel like I needed that extra space. So I knew I had some silver kind of thickers, and I guess the only ones I have left are these patriotic ones. So the sentiment on the thickers says "Oh my stars," but I'm going to take the "Oh my," and then this kind of cursive-y font right here and change it to, instead of "Oh my stars," it's going to say "Oh my sister." So I'm gonna mess around with the letters. I'm gonna get them to kind of nestle into each other, kind of sit where I want them to. And then once I finally get that done, because holy Moses, this is taking me forever to do this, I'm going to bring back in that little metal piece, and I'm just going to place it right here because I feel like there is an awkward gap and I need to cover that up, right? Like there's something there that just needs to be covered up. And then I realize that I still have not covered up that weird center portion of the flower. So I grab another one of these die cuts and I'm going to trim it down so that I can tuck it under and I can get that weird portion of the flower covered up, because it just looks weird. It looks funky to me. So I just want to cover it up. So I end up doing that, and even though this is probably not my best solution, it works, right? Like, it totally works. So that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.